Right now at 6, an active shooting incident shocks a Madison area community.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
The Mount Horeb Area School District is dealing with an active shooter situation. Earlier reports say the shooter had been neutralized and did not breach the gates of the middle school in Mount Horeb, which is about 20 miles west of Madison. Our Michael Germain is on the scene trying to get the latest from law enforcement. We'll be touching base with him in just a bit. But today's shooting comes on the same day the Wisconsin Department of Justice's Office of School Safety presented its findings from a trip to Parkland, Florida to study the aftermath of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting.
Last fall, OSS Director Trish Kilpin and Scott Johnson with the West Salem School District toured Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School to learn from the tragic situation. Today, they spoke to staff and administrators at Sparta High School about their findings.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall joins us with the breakdown. Jeremy.
Yeah, Ken, the West Salem School District Director of Safety, Scott Johnson, says behavior threat assessment training is critical to help prevent tragedies like the shooting in Mount Horeb today and the Parkland shooting 6 years ago. In 2018, 17 students and 3 staff were killed when a former student arrived at the school and opened fire, making it the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history. Johnson says offering resources to people that might need help can mitigate these tragic events, stressing districts developing a process to follow when they receive a threat.
We work with our local law enforcement. If you have an SRO, the SRO is right there with you. You invite the law enforcement into the interview process, all the way through to the documentation and everything like that.
One way experts say the shooting can be prevented is by prioritizing a program similar to Speak Up, Speak Out Wisconsin, an online resource that allows students and faculty to report tips on potential threats directed at schools. Ken and Emily.
All right, Jeremy Wall live in our studio. Thank you, Jeremy.
An active shooter believed to have targeted Mount Horeb Area School District just outside of Madison has been neutralized. That's according to posts made by the school district.
So let's join Michael Germain now live in Mount Horeb with the latest on this story. Good evening, Michael.
Good evening, Ken. Good evening, Emily. Directly behind me, law enforcement and school district officials are expected to have a press meeting in just a few minutes. Now, the situation has been changing throughout the day, but here's what we know so far. An emergency alert was sent out by the Dane County Sheriff's Office warning of an active shooter in the 900 block of East Garfield Street. Schools were placed on lockdown immediately and remained locked down throughout the afternoon. At this point, it's believed the alleged shooter did not breach either of the schools and no staff or students were harmed, although a message from the Mount School District said the threat was neutralized outside of the middle school. Around 2:45 p.m., the district began reunifying parents and students in stages. Now, the town is less than 8,000 people, so you can imagine how quickly word and fear spread following the alert this morning. Now, one resident says you don't expect these things to happen in your community.
There always is that possibility, and you see things that happen in a small town, and you're never safe from it. You just don't want to ever think that this could happen in your town. And
now, in a statement by Tony Evers, he says, "Every day our kids, educators, and staff go to school and hope a day like this will never come. Having visited the district 2 months ago, my heart breaks for the school, the district, and the entire Mount Horeb community." Additional details and information. The state remains ready to do whatever we can to support the school district and the greater community. Now, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, an update from law enforcement is expected to happen at this building right on the second floor, and we'll be sure to update you coming up at 10. Reporting live, Michael Germain, Ken and Emily, back to you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
A Monroe County man is accused of threatening a Vernon County resident and firing a gun near her home. 41-year-old Nicholas Calhoun allegedly threatened a person outside their Waniwak home on Saturday night. And about 3 hours later, police got a call that Calhoun was yelling at the end of a driveway and fired several rounds from a gun. Hillsborough and Lafarge police arrested him without incident that night in the town of Union. Police booked him in Vernon County on charges including first-degree recklessly endangering safety and operating a firearm while intoxicated. He is out on a $1,000 bond and back in Vernon County Court on May 8th.
Well, we had actually a nice day after we had all those thunderstorms late last night, but unfortunately we're going to go back to the wet weather going into Friday. Tomorrow, it's kind of this flip-flop back and forth that we're seeing. But for right now this evening, we're just seeing increasing high clouds. Overall temperatures getting back down to the 50s. It will remain dry, light wind, so not a bad evening for La Crosse. And same story for Eau Claire. More sun. It'll take a little bit longer till clouds begin to increase, and they've kind of just seen the sun this afternoon more. It'll get down to 51. So all in all, not a bad evening. And all the precipitation on the radar, a lot of that still is not reaching the ground. We will start seeing that increase overnight, but big picture shows a lot of it's still well out to the west into the Dakotas, and that's the system that we're tracking for eventually the morning time frame. Overnight, we'll just see a few showers, mainly south of La Crosse. A lot of that will not hit the ground. Otherwise, temperatures will decrease to the 40s up to the north, remain probably around 50 as you wake up tomorrow morning. Once we get towards the morning commute, it's just there afterwards that we see this large area of light to moderate, even heavy rainfall that'll begin to go through the area. So yes, the morning commute's going to be wet, potentially some heavy rainfall, but we do have some drier air potentially in the afternoon, and we're going to flip right back to switch to dry Friday. Maybe some rain comes Saturday, and we'll kind of break all that down once again later in the broadcast.
Quite a pattern this week.
It's flipping back and forth.
Sure is. Thank you, Greg.
2 new Oak Leaf clinics opened in Chippewa and Rusk counties this morning. The clinics opening in former Prevea Health locations, which were left vacant in Cornell and Ladysmith following HSHS and Prevea's controversial exit from the region in March. According to Oak Leaf officials, the Cornell location expanded to accommodate more patients and is adding in-house lab services and outreach specialty services. The Ladysmith location adding multiple new outreach services, including OBGYN and endocrinology, in addition to the services previously offered at the Prevea Clinic. The new clinics are part of 4 planned in the Chippewa Valley. The other 2 clinics in Menominee and Rice Lake are expected to open in the coming weeks.
City Brewery Union members are voting today on a new contract agreement. According to a flyer shared with News 8 Now, members are voting at the La Crosse American Legion today and tomorrow on an agreement between union leaders and the brewery. Now, back in March, members authorized a strike and a vote if a new contract agreement could not be reached. Members also rejected the company's plan to implement a mandatory 12-hour shift for many of its departments. The union's current contract with the brewery ends on May 8th.
A second daily Amtrak train route begins later this month. Amtrak Midwest announcing tickets for the Borealis route are now available. The route originates at St. Paul and Chicago, with both trains leaving in the late morning and running through La Crosse and Toma along the way. Fares start at $41 each way for adults. The new route is sponsored by the states of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. You can find the Borealis train schedule and more information on our website, news8000.com.
8th graders from Minnesota schools got hands-on today, exploring different career opportunities at Western Technical College. Bluff County Collaborative and Western Technical hosted 250 8th graders from 7 school districts in Houston County. The day was an opportunity for students to get hands-on with their interests and match them with the educational programs available at Western Tech. One leader with BCC says this event is an effective way to help students decide their pathways in high school and beyond.
Young people, they don't always know what they want to do, so the more we can expose them to options and ideas, the more that they're with confidence exploring things a little deeper as they start to select high school classes and what they want to do after high school.
Since 2017, about 6% of Bluff County Collaborative students choose Western technical programs after high school.
Demonstrations against the war in Gaza continue on college campuses nationwide.
And dozens of UW-Madison protesters are arrested after some confrontations with police.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's biggest selection of Kubota equipment and get 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
I remember coming home from school and pounding on the door, but my mother wouldn't answer. She'd be passed out inside. You know, my mother had a drug abuse problem. She struggled with addiction to prescription pills her whole life. But today with fentanyl, one pill, just one pill can kill. So I've worked with Republicans to stop the flow of fentanyl that's poisoning families across Wisconsin. I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. This fight hits close to home.
You made a cow. Actually, it's a piggy bank. My inspiration to start saving.
How about a more solid way to save?
I'm listening.
Well, BMO helps get your savings habit into shape with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward?
And there's a cash bonus when you open a new checking account to get you started.
Wow. Anything you can't do?
Mugs.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Schwebel, Getz & Sieben today.
I absolutely would recommend Schwebel, Getz & Sieben to anybody. We got back from the hospital, and the moment we walked through the front door, there was already piles of bills stacked up. And I called our attorney, and he goes, you just focus on getting better. You just forward those right to us, and we'll take care of that. And he did.
Schwebel, Getz & Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement. Call or visit Schwebel.com today for a free consultation.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's biggest selection of Kubota equipment and get 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Campus protests against the war in Gaza are escalating across the country, with protesters and counter-protesters clashing at UCLA and hundreds of protesters being arrested in New York City.
Michael George has the latest from Columbia University in New York.
UCLA canceled classes Wednesday following clashes between two protest groups over the war in Gaza.
It is causing a lot of issues for people feeling unsafe on both sides.
Overnight, counter-demonstrators launched what looked like fireworks into an encampment set up by pro-Palestinian protesters and also attempted to knock down the barriers in front of the camp. George Washington University in Washington, D.C. and the University of Texas, Dallas are among the latest colleges where protesters have set up encampments. Students are calling on the administration to divest from companies that support the war effort.
They know our demands. Until they meet them, our commitment is to stay in this space.
At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, a campus police spokesperson said 4 law enforcement officers were hurt trying to dismantle protesters' tents.
We are not asking protesters to leave. We support their constitutional right to be here. But the main issue we moved in today is because they were in violation of Chapter 18, which does not allow camping or camping equipment on campus property.
In New York City, police also began removing tents at Columbia University. Earlier, scuffles broke out after officers, at the request of the university, removed protesters from an academic building they'd been occupying.
The operation was organized, calm, and that there were no injuries or violent clashes.
The NYPD is expected to remain on campus through graduation later this month to prevent another encampment. And while police were able to clear the tents at Columbia, pro-Palestinian students at nearby Fordham University set up a similar protest. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
New York City officials say 300 protesters were arrested overnight, including more than 100 at Columbia and nearly 200 at a nearby City College of New York.
Well, 6 contestants competed to see who could raise the most money, and now 2 are left standing.
We'll introduce you to this year's Conductor Wannabe winners in just a few minutes.
And the rain comes back for tomorrow, but we do have some drier conditions once again returning for Friday. I'll break down when to expect the rain, how much we might see, and what the weekend has in store. All that coming up on your First One Weather Update after the break.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care, because we get you. So get out on the road and stay safe with quality automotive parts and service at unbeatable prices. Like buy 3 tires, get 1 free, plus up to $100 consumer rebate on select Cooper tires when you buy 4 by the end of April. 15% off assorted brake pads, shocks, struts, suspension parts, and more. And new Blaine's brand windshield wash, $2.99 a gallon. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Enjoy.
Is there such a thing as too many strawberries?
I don't know, Stan. Is there such a thing as too many sunsets?
Or too many video games? Or too many rainbows?
Or too many dance moves?
Or too many cozy sweaters?
Perkins' new Strawberry Freshtival is here with our new fresh strawberry mega pancake platter and new sweet and stuffed fresh strawberry cheesecake pancakes. Only at Perkins.
Discover where rustic meets refinement at Black River Furniture Outlet. Shop Wisconsin-made easy sofas and recliners with customizable fabrics. Check out Amish-made dining sets in hickory, walnut, maple, and barnwood, as well as one-of-a-kind epoxy pieces you can't find anywhere else. Roll out some warmth and style this season with our cabin rug collection and our new customizable poly furniture. Bring the outdoors into your bedroom with our rustic bed groups, dressers, chests, nightstands, and bedsides to go with. Celebrating 30 years of community and business. Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
Join today's shoppers as they explore Sweet Valley Artisans.
There's so many good things here. How do you pick just one? You don't.
I've been looking for something to hang in my garage. What about this? Or this?
Vintage clothing and accessories? Let's check it out. Have you found anything yet? Yeah?
I'm getting hungry just looking at this. I know what you mean.
Stop in and find your treasure today.
Pischke Motors has been family owned and operated since 1920 and have you to thank for our continued success. Stop by our dealership in West Salem or La Crosse to find the Ram you're looking for. Get in a Ram 1500 Laramie or Bighorn today. We've got great deals on new Rams right now. When you find the perfect truck, you'll feel it.
Start your search at Pischke.com and then drive away in your new Ram.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The winners of this year's Conductor Wannabe competition have been announced.
That's right. Courtney Locken and Michael Scott will each get to conduct a piece at the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra's May concert. In first place, Locken raised a total of $22,022 during the campaign. Half of that will go to River City Youth Hockey.
And Scott raised $12,481, with half of that going to the Parenting Places Diaper Bank. Both Locken and Scott think the competition is a great tradition.
Not only are you raising money for the arts and the symphony orchestra, but to include these nonprofits, this is a great opportunity to raise some money.
My hope was that I could just reach as many people as possible and get them excited about the way that the organizations enrich our community.
Scott will be conducting a March concert, which he is fondly calling the March of the Diapers.
Right on theme, and Locken says she'll be conducting her piece in full hockey gear as a thank you to everyone who voted for her.
In total, the contestants raised just over $55,000.
It's like a must-watch concert. With
Yeah, I hope he doesn't show up in a diaper, though. Like, she's going to be in a full hockey outfit, and then he shows up with to match his charity diapers. Yeah, no.
Well, I guess we'll have to follow up with Michael and see
Right,
where
exactly.
he's at.
Well, Greg says that the weather has been flip-flopping, sunny one day, rain the next, and get ready for that because we have some headed our way tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to flip the switch again for rain for Thursday, but Friday actually looks dry. For tomorrow, really the morning commute through about noon is really the wettest period of this we're monitoring. Could be some locally heavy rainfall during this time. It becomes more showery, spotty in nature towards the afternoon, so the evening commute may not be that wet for a lot of areas. But overnight, really, cloud cover begins to increase, and we're going to see a few showers south of La Crosse. A lot of this probably won't reach the ground yet. Cloud will start increasing north of Eau Claire, but it will take some time. Temperatures up there into the low 40s. Overall, southern areas probably into the 50s. That shower activity will start spreading towards the morning commute, but that's really not what we're watching. It's this area of this light to moderate rainfall that begins to push over just after 7 to 8 o'clock, and that's really when it really becomes maybe heavy potential rainfall, as you see right there coming up towards northeast Iowa. This will spread across the entire area, so really from about 8 to about noon, it is going to be wet, and occasional thunderstorms potential in that too. By the time we get to noon and thereafter, areas to the south will begin to dry out and maybe just a spotty shower. It'll linger a little bit longer for Eau Claire up to Ladysmith, probably until about 2 or 3. And then in the afternoon, it's just going to be a little bit of redevelopment potentially, especially as you go further south and east. But a lot of areas may remain dry and just cloudy with maybe some drizzle. But then by this evening, you can see a little bit of shower storm begins to redevelop here. We'll keep an eye on this, but right now it doesn't look to be that impressive. The good news is once we go into later Thursday into Friday, it does clear out. Heavy rain threat, there is that potential, a slight risk there due to that heavy rain and actually training over the same area. We'll keep an eye on that. And amounts could be 1 to 2, potentially even higher amounts in northeast Iowa, southwest Wisconsin. That's the area to focus on. It does drop off as you go further north, but still everyone is going to see probably a quarter to a half at the minimum. severe threat, that's the good news. What we will keep an eye on is that afternoon redevelopment potentially, but I think that'll be further south and east, and that's a minor risk. Well, there's also a risk in the morning hours with that thunderstorm stuff coming up that we could see it, but overall, that's really not a high risk for severe weather given the setup. The good news, as I mentioned, Friday, it does look actually dry. That pushes off to the east, so most of the day Friday should be good with some cloud cover. Overall, not bad. Unfortunately, we have another weak system that's going to come through for Saturday. Not going to be a heavy rain threat, but we are going to see some precipitation, unfortunately, for Saturday likely. Overall for tonight, it's really going to remain dry. The showers will be towards the morning. Overall temperatures in the 50s to the south to the 40s to the north. Very wet in the morning, a little bit less wet in the afternoon. Mid-60s to the south to the low 50s up to the north. We're going to dry out once we get to Thursday night into Friday. That looks good. A few showers coming into Saturday. Cinco de Mayo actually looks dry, and beyond that we have another system we'll keep track for the early part of next week with temperatures climbing maybe up to the mid-70s by Monday. So yeah, it's an active pattern. It doesn't look like we're going to have 2 dry days yet. Maybe next week, we'll see, but it's definitely going to be wet for tomorrow.
Definitely going to have a gully washer tomorrow.
There you go. Good
Say it, Greg.
Yeah, you got a gully washer.
Yeah. That's his favorite word.
Yeah, it is.
Greg, thanks very much. Coming up next in sports, the Twins looking to make it a perfect 10 in a row this afternoon. Plus, Onalaska girls soccer looking to keep on rolling. They're hitting the pitch to take on rival Aquinas. Rob is next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Cooley Carpet has always been more than just carpet, and now the name will reflect that. Cooley Floors and Design. Along with the brand new name, there's a fresh new look to the showroom. Don't worry, Cooley Floors and Design still has the same great team at the same convenient location. Ready to elevate your space? The design consultants will take the time to discuss your dreams, needs, and your budget. Cooley Floors and Design will accompany you through every step from expert advice to professional installation. Visit Cooley Floors and Design on Mormon Cooley Road for a fresh new look.
For over 40 years, Blood Cross Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CEHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
Spring is here, and it's time to visit Jolivet Family Farms. 8 greenhouses full of a wide variety of flowers, vegetable, and plants, all grown for this climate. Seed potatoes, onion sets, sweet onion plants, bulk seeds, succulents, citronella mosquito plants, horseradish, rhubarb, asparagus. Find unique lawn and garden decor. Take home a strawberry rhubarb pie, rhubarb crisp, or peanut butter pie from our homemade bakery. All this and so much more. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
A few of our high school teams getting ahead of the upcoming storm this week. Wednesdays are usually an off day for our high school athletes, but with the expected rainfall tomorrow, a pair of conference rivals hit the pitch a day early in lacrosse. Let's go to Fields for Kids. Aquinas hosting Onalaska. Blue Gold's goalie Madeline Grossbach keeping this one scoreless early on, but it's hard to keep the Hilltoppers off the board. Natalie Tevis, backward kick to Catherine Ramsey for the goal. Beautiful pass, puts Anna on top. Hilltoppers looking for another, but Tevis hits the top post. Anna gets another chance, but the Aquinas defense stepping up big. Wild sequence there in the first half, but then a few minutes later, it's Amaya Tessing doing what she does best. That's find the back of the net. An absolute beauty from the senior. Hilltoppers go up 2 at the break. They tack on 1 more in the second half as they get the shutout win, 3-0. Well, it didn't take long for the suspensions to be handed down from last night's brawl in Milwaukee. It all hit ahead in the 8th inning Tuesday night. Abner Uribe taking a swing here at Tampa Bay's Jose Siri. This coming a couple of innings after Siri was hit by a pitch from Freddie Peralta. As for the suspensions, Uribe gets 6 games, Peralta He'll serve a 5-game suspension, so technically 1 start. Pat Murphy gets 2 games for inappropriate conduct toward umpires. Series 3-game suspension has been reduced to 2 games after an appeal. All that aside, Brewers looking for the series win this afternoon. The Crew going right to work in the 3rd, 2 on for Willie Contreras. He scorches 1 to left. That's going to be trouble. Bryce Terang is in. Oliver Dunn slides in safe. Contreras puts Milwaukee up 2. And then this one became the Willie Adames show in the 6th. Willie crushes this one to center high and deep. It's going to carry over the wall for a solo shot. Makes it 3-0. Next inning, Willie does it again. This time with 2 on. Adames blows this one wide open. 3-run blast, his 2nd homer of the game. Adames with 4 RBIs in this one. Brewers make it 2 out of 3 over the Rays. 7-1 the final. Twins looking to make it 10 straight. Max Kepler's been the hero the past couple nights. Max makes it happen once again. Go-ahead base hit in the top of the 7th. Minnesota makes it 10 straight. A gully washer of wins for Minnesota. 10 in a row. Love that. Let's go. Bring it over here. Huddle up. Huddle up. We didn't get to talk about the Bucks' big win last night because it was on too late, but huge win. No Giannis, no Dame.
Apparently no problem. Bobby Portis stepped up in a big way.
No problem at all.
And do we know if it's still Dame might play?
We don't know. I don't have the inside source. I'm not close enough to Milwaukee.
Yeah, just ring him up after the segment. Like, Dame, you playing? Is it Dame time?
I hope so.
We need it to be Dame time.
I mean, I think they need him in Indiana. Indiana's a tough place to play, so hopefully they come back.
It's a raucous environment there.
Yep.
All right, Rob, thanks very much.
Go Bucks. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hey, Dominic here, and our pork seasoning is good on all kinds of pork. For sweet and spicy brats, use uncooked bratwurst, pineapple juice, and 1 tablespoon of pork seasoning per pound of meat. Poke small holes in the brats and place in a kettle. Cover with pineapple juice and add pork seasoning. Cover and simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. Grill over direct heat for about 10 minutes until done. Get your pork seasoning and 39 other blends at the Pleasing Outlet Store in Ward Avenue, La Crosse. It's always brat season.
The main purpose of Lions Clubs are to help their community. One of our biggest things is the fireworks that we put on every July. And a second visible project that we do is maintaining our shelter building, the ball field, and playground equipment. The shelter building is over 40 years old, and we're going to replace it. Obviously, we need some money for that, so we are selling memorial bricks. Memorial bricks can be purchased by going to our Facebook page.
To learn more about the St. Joseph Ridge Lions Club, visit their Facebook page.
Sealands Carpetland, your family comes first. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners in creating a home that lasts a lifetime. Discover a world of comfort and durability with our huge selection. Whether it's cozy carpeting for your living room, timeless hardwood for a classic touch, or versatile tiles that stand up to the hustle and bustle of family life. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. Our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Well, that kind of times out when we're expecting really the rainfall, and it's between that 9 to noon where we could have moderate to even heavy rainfall. It's definitely going to be wet morning for all. It does break down a little bit in the afternoon, so there'll be some dry periods in the afternoon to evening time frame. Dry Friday, and this weekend, Saturday, a few showers. Cinco de Mayo actually looks not too bad at 71, and then we do have some rain coming back for next week, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some uplifting messages.
Yes, I like it.
A little bit of flip-flopping, but we'll take it. We'll take it. And of course, we are still awaiting a press conference from law enforcement in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin after that shooter incident at a middle school. We will keep you up to date on our shows tonight at 10, as well as all of our digital platforms. So keep it to News 8 for all the latest, and thank you so much for joining us tonight at 6.
Yeah, we'll see you at 10.